So this is the first of our Year 5 fraction videos, and what we're going to look at today is recapping on what a fraction actually is. Fractions represents parts of a whole, and this fraction rod here represents one whole number. Whole numbers can be divided equally into equal parts. Here we have one whole that has been divided into two. So we say it has been divided into halves. Here's one half and another half. When it's written down, we've got 1 out of 2 pieces, and here's the other 1 out of 2 pieces. When they're together, the two halves are equal to one whole. We can see the same if we split the whole into 3 to make thirds. Here we've got one whole that has been split equally into 3 pieces. So we've got 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Put them together, we have 1, 2, 3 thirds, and they are equal to one whole. When we split a whole into 4 pieces, we call that quarters. And here we have one whole split into 4 equal parts. So we have a quarter, a second quarter, a third quarter, and a fourth quarter. Again, equal to a whole. Now we can keep splitting up a whole into equal parts, and you'll notice that the parts get smaller. So if we divide into fifths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, they're getting gradually smaller but remaining equal, and always, when put together, equal to one whole. Here we have 6, which are smaller again. So you can see the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal to one whole. And we can split into eighths. And smaller again, we can split into tenths. And we've created what we call a fraction wall. We start off with one whole at the top. We divide into 2 for halves, into 3 equal pieces for thirds, 4 equal pieces for quarters, 5 equal pieces for fifths, 6 equal pieces for sixths, 8 equal pieces for eighths, and 10 equal pieces for tenths. I'm going to put these away now, and we're just going to look at one row of our fraction wall. Let's look at this row that has been split into fifths, and we're going to have a look at how a fraction is actually written down. Now, a fraction, when we write it down, is made up of 2 parts. On the top, we have our numerator, and on the bottom, we have our denominator. Now, the denominator tells us how many parts the whole has been split up into. In this case, we've got fifths, and the whole, one whole, has been divided up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts, and that's what the denominator represents. The numerator, on the other hand, tells us how many parts of that whole that we have. So in this case, we have 1/5. We have one of those 5 parts. so 1/5. If we were to change that for 3/5, we would have 3 of them. We would have 3 out of those 5/5. So there's the 3 of them. Here's the 5 altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 3/5 represents 3 of those. So that's the numerator and the denominator. 3 out of 5 parts of a whole. Continuing to think about that, let's have a look at this shape here. Here I have a square and it's been divided up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equal parts. So that actually gives us our denominator. So it gives us our bottom number. So we know that the square has been divided into ninths. Now if we were to colour in 1, 2, 3, 4 of those pieces, 4 out of the 9 have been coloured in. Therefore, 4/9 of the shape have been coloured. Have a look at these shapes I've got here. Can you work out what fraction of each shape has been coloured in? Pause the video, have a go and come back and check to see if you were correct. Let's see how you got on then. So let's have a look at this first one here. First of all, we're going to start off by looking at how many equal parts the shape has been divided into. In this case, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equal parts. That gives us our denominator of 7. We've got 7 equal parts of the whole. Now coloured in, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6/7 of that shape have been coloured. Here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got 12 equal parts to this rectangle. 4 of them have been coloured in, so 4/12 are coloured. Here, slightly different, we've got 1, 2, 3 parts of a square. So the square has been divided into thirds and 2 parts are coloured. So 2/3 of the shape are coloured in. Here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This shape has been divided into 16ths. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8/16 have been coloured in. I'm hoping that's given you a quick recap of what fractions are, and you'll be ready to move on to our next video. Look out for part 2, where we're going to be looking at equivalent fractions.